a deputy district attorney in misdemeanors here. I start my day by going to court, and then a little bit before noon, we come back from court and we prepare cases for motions or trials, and typically we do that in the afternoon. On a day-to-day basis in misdemeanors, typically anything from most often DUIs, but also domestic violence, sexual battery, theft, a little bit of drug cases, and property crime. As a new attorney, it's a really great place to learn. Here in Solano County, we're split between two offices, one in Fairfield and one in Vallejo. And because of being concentrated in one office, you have a lot of attorneys who are always available to give you advice. For example, I had a strangulation trial, which was a domestic violence case. And I was able to go to one of my peers who is in the domestic violence unit, and she gave me a lot of good advice for asking victims on the stand during trial about what is it like to be strangled. And I really am so thankful for all the people, just all the experience and all the help you have in this office specifically. Talking to victims is a fairly large part of our job. I think it feels really good when they feel like they have justice, when there's somewhat of a closure to their crimes. We have our secretaries, we have investigations, we have intake, we have a discovery unit, we have so many different people. And when you need something, when you need your witnesses subpoenaed, they get it right and they have your back. And it just feels so good to have the help of everybody who are all working toward the same cause. I moved here about a year and a half ago, and prior to that, I graduated with a degree in mechanical engineering. So I was at a utility company for 7 years as a mechanical engineer and a project manager. And then I also worked after law school. I have a master's in tax law, and I worked in mergers and acquisitions, accounting or tax for a year and a half. And then subsequent to that, I became a DA in Massachusetts for 9 months before I moved here. I just wanted something, a degree that would allow me to help people. And I thought law was more powerful maybe than a business degree. But it's also a lot of fun. I mean, it's drama. You're in a courtroom trying to convince 12 jurors that your case is just and that your evidence and your victims are telling the truth. And so it's just overall more kind of exciting. A DA is someone who is employed by the state, and I usually tell victims I hold people accountable who hurt other people because I believe that accountability is really necessary for people to get better. And also, especially in misdemeanors where we have hundreds of cases, accountability doesn't look like jail time necessarily. For the most part, nearly no one goes to jail. So it's really an opportunity for someone to have a period of probation and to take a class and to try to make themselves a better person. I would say I've never been happier. I love the work. I know that my colleagues have my back. Sometimes I like to think of us as the Kingsmen because we have to appear in court well-dressed and upright, and we have to represent the county and our victims. And we really have to execute perfectly. We need to look strong in front of a jury and look knowledgeable. And I find that to be just kind of a fun little interesting part of our job. Sometimes you go to trial and everything is 60% ready, and you just you learn how to just do things on the fly. But it's a good training tool. I mean, you learn so much so quickly. We have a high standard. We have some defendants who have 5 cases, and you need to give them a reasonable offer. And it really requires looking at the defendant as a person, looking through their cases. I don't per se have a client, but I may be a boss, or I work for the county and for the people of the state of California. And the people are victims, and they don't want to have crimes interrupt their daily lives. You have to have the personality for it. You have to be willing to be a ham in front of a crowd. You have to be smart. You have to be willing to work really hard. And you have to be willing to work on a team. I think it's important to be able to write your motions and argue in court and really be able to do the research that can get you over the beyond a reasonable doubt line.